DeaconLive.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a new bit called Text-to-Voice Theater, and coronavirus has killed another big event, and non-mask wearers are now considered a religious group, and two big shows are calling it quit, and one show, very famous show, is getting a new mayor. All this and much, much more discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're getting through. Well, we just had Labor Day weekend, right? Did you guys survive? Are you doing okay? Are you hungover? You know, we strive to get out and to see people and meet people, and of course, unfortunately, these events that we have instilled and people have instilled upon us are keeping us at home, keeping us away from local areas, depending on your states. Your governors opening the doors, opening the floodgates, and letting you guys out there to go and have a good time, to go and have some drinks, to go and eat some overpriced nachos, to go out there and eat some fried shrimp or whatever you guys do on Labor Day weekend. Usually, what do they say? That's the end of summer, right? The Labor Day weekend, that's the end of summer. So a lot of people go out to the beach. A lot of people go out there, and you can kind of like social distance, physical distance yourself on the social beach. But yeah, I mean, so are you guys doing all right? Did you cook out? Did you cook out? Well, we cooked out, and we'll get into that here a little bit later on in the show. But before we continue, before we go any further, hands above the head. Oh, big stretch. Oh, man, I was freaking out the other day. I was worried about, you ever get one of those, I call it an infected taste bud. It's that on the side of you, whether it be on the tip of your tongue, on the side of your tongue, or something like that, you've eaten something that's really, really acidic, or something's gone on, you bit it, you did something crazy, but it's that one little taste bud that just gets flared up, and it's like, yeah! And it just, no matter, you could talk, and it rubs on the right tooth the wrong way. So for the last couple days, I haven't really been talking a whole lot. Good for us. Thank you, Deacon. Thank you. Did us all a favor. Shut the fuck up. But no, I mean, I had a little infected taste bud. I call it infected taste bud. And I couldn't talk. Like yesterday, I'm sitting there, I'm doing prep for the show. And my wife's like going, and I'm at the kitchen table there, or the kitchen island. And I'm doing some stuff. She's like, you want lunch or anything? I'm like, not really. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, where's the Ambisol? Oh, I don't know. Babe, you had it last. No, I didn't. You did. No. You had it last. Okay, all right. So I look, we're not known for tooth pains or teeth pains. Is it tooth pains or teeth pains? We're not known to having pains in our mouths enough to warrant to know where the Ambisol is. But I know a good remedy is to take just hydrogen peroxide, and I just put a little bit in my mouth. Yes, you don't drink it, but you can put a little bit in your mouth, and what happens? It starts foaming in the side of your mouth, so it foams up, and I spit it out, and I sat there. I did the warm salt water. It worked. So as you can tell, today, she stood upon the balcony, mimicking him hiccuping and amicably welcoming him in. So there you go. That's my voice. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises. So I'm sounding pretty good. So there's your voice exercise. I don't do those on a daily basis, but those are the ones I remember when I was in theater. And, my film and theater background. So those are the ones I remember. I could nail them. Even if I was drunk and hungover and stuff, I could nail those right off the bat. So there you go. So my Labor Day weekend was spent a lot of time in the yard, spent a lot of time just, doing stuff around here at the Franch. Now, one of our friends on Facebook said, you've got a Franch, which is part farm, part ranch. Now, the farm part's going away because we're getting into the cooler months, so we have a acre of corn left. Once that's harvested, then we're done. I mean, we'll let everything, sow itself and reseed, and whatever pops up, pops up. If not, we're getting into the cold months. And we also have horses here. We have horses and poultry and chickens and cows and all that stuff on mine. So that's the ranch part. Then the Facebook friend said, well, you also have the studio. Yes, we have the Queen City studio, which is located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, on our property in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. So you should call it a Franchudio. Just kind of cramming everything together. Great. So we'll see if that sticks or not, the Franchudio. But so during the Labor Day weekend, what do you want to do, babe? I don't know. We really can't go anywhere. We live in North Carolina. The ban was kind of lifted. They did like a 2.5 lift. You can only, not 10% of the patrons can go in the restaurants. Now 25% of them. Well, some places only have 100 people. So you put 10% in there, and now you go to 25. So another 15 people go in there. I don't like those other 15 people. Let's bring in more people, more bodies here in this restaurant, in the bar or whatever. But we didn't go out, so we just kind of hung here at the Franchudio. And I was doing some work on the backside of the property. We have 20 some odd acres, and we're getting ready to put new pastures in a part that's not developed. So I'm back there and I'm messing around, and I see my neighbor. Now, we've been in this house for probably coming up on 7-8 years now. And there's a small little property that's about 1.5 acres. He's kind of nestled in between these two larger parcels, my parcel and the parcel next to us that we kind of meet in the back behind the 1 acre in between us. So I'm back there, and I hardly ever see that neighbor because, like I said, he's way over there and I'm way over here. Well, his backside of the property borders mine, like a V, and more of a V with a flat bottom on it. And he's over there, and he's got a riding lawnmower, and it's all grass. It's all grass. No trees, no nothing. When they built his property, they leveled it, seeded it. He's got a couple ornamental trees on the property. Boom. Mine's a little bit more natural. So we have natural pines. We have natural oaks. I take all the scrub oaks and all that stuff out. So I'm on the backside of the property. He's mowing. When I say he's mowing, he's an older gentleman. I found that out. I found that out. You can see he's an older gentleman. He looks like Mr. Belvedere if Mr. Belvedere was like 5'6". You remember Mr. Belvedere, right? Come on, kids. Charlie, I don't think that should go there. So he pulls over, and I'm like going, hey, my name's the Deacon. And he's like, hey, my name's Charlie. Actually, that's his name. I don't know why I made fun of him before. But his name's Charlie, and I met him, and we got to talking. I said, hey, what happened to your other mower? He's like, I couldn't afford them. And so I'm mowing the property myself, and my wife wants this. And he's an older gentleman. He's retired. He's a retired parishioner, retired preacher. Does working for like local churches and stuff, but nice guy. Hates mowing the lawn, I found out. He's like, I hate doing this lawn. My wife wants a perfect lawn, but she can go in there and microwave a dinner. I'm going to give her a microwave lawn, is what he said. Those old, that humor that preachers have, or religious figures, not to say religious figures, but, your old school Southern religious people have that little, that funny sense of humor. I'd pee on a spark plug if I knew it would do any good. That's a famous line from a movie. But that kind of humor. So we talked for a little bit, and how are you? And, what's your background? I told him my background. I didn't tell him about the podcast. I don't want to freak him out, oh my God. So we got to talking, and, he's talking about, and we started, of course, you hate to get into politics. Well, first of all, you already broken your first rule. He's a retired pastor, and you already broken it because he's a pastor. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. So first rule's already gone. I'm a pastor. All right. Well, there you go. Okay, talk about that. And then so he started, talking about this and my granddaughter this, and I don't agree with her lifestyle, and he's got a little bit of Southern drawl to him, and his granddaughter says, Grandpa, you need to get woke. You need to wake up and see what's going on. Now the granddaughter's 20 some odd years old, and Grandpa, the pastor, retired pastor Charlie, said, I don't need to get woke. I've already set my ways. I've been through this part of World War I, and not World War I, but World Wars, and and conflicts and stuff. And he's like, we'll get through this, just, Bible and Jesus and praise God. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, what did I gotten into? But, it's good to hear these types of the other side of a conversation and other than someone else's ideas, other than yours. As long as they're not pushing those ideas onto you, you just like to hear, okay, that's your train of thought. That's your type of, that's what suits your lifestyle, which is fine. And Charlie, kept going, and my granddaughter and her LGBTQ friends try to push their agenda on me. I'm like, oh God, Charlie, if you need help with anything, you need help mowing your lawn, you need help cutting down a tree, you need help moving something heavy, please, by all means. I'm right around the corner, literally, half a mile if you take a road. I'm right down the road from you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. I sure do appreciate that. And fires up his lawnmower, gets on about his day. I jump on I've got a mini tractor with a pump-up sprayer, the canister sprayer on the back of it, and I'm spraying weeds is what I was doing. I was spraying weeds around the property, around the property line, around the pastures. And I got to thinking, I'm like going, this guy probably, I don't know if he goes to church. I'm sure he does. He's already pissed off at his wife. He actually said to me, he said, don't marry a princess. Well, I just told you I've been married, 7 years now. Well, make sure she's not a princess. Okay, I'll make sure. Babe, are you a princess? No. All right, there you go. No, she's not a princess. But we're on the backside of the acreage here. But it was just weird. It was fun talking to him. I said, it's nice to meet you after 7 years of living here, Charlie. We shook hands. He wasn't wearing a mask. He had an old straw hat on that looks like it's been hanging on a nail, and half of the threads are pulled out the top of it. And I just had my own regular do-rag, my little sweat rag, my dry wick headband on. I jumped on my lawnmower, fired mine up. He fired his up. We waved, tipped our hats to each other, and then went on about our day. We're good. No fighting, no yelling, no nothing. He knew where I stood, sorta. I don't know if he even knew. I think he wanted someone to talk to more than talk at, or talk at more than talk to. And so it was good. I met my backdoor neighbor. I met my guy who's lived next to me for 7 some odd years. He's been here for years before that. Gave me the lowdown on all the property of how everything was sold around here. So he's got some knowledge. He's got some history. He's been here a while. And it was great to hear that. And it's great to hear older people, or people that, for starters, have been there longer than you have. And just their quest of knowledge. It's always good to have quest of knowledge. When someone says, hey, I got a stupid question, you should never say, I've got a stupid question. You should, quest for knowledge should never be looked down upon as stupid. Hey, look, I don't understand this. Can you please explain this to me one more time? So I can get it. So I can see where you're coming from. So ignorance, what's the saying? I'm going to make up a saying. You ready for this? Ignorance invokes violence. So there you go. There you go. All right. When we come back, we'll dive into the show. We got a great show for you today. A lot of neat things we're going to talk about, and we're not going to get political, but there is a conversation that I posted a picture on my Facebook feed, and the way you get part of that is go to Deacon or go to Prophet Radio, click on the DeaconLive section. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start that over. And the way to be part of that is to go to Prophet Radio, click on the social contact section, and you can see all the ways you can connect with us on our Facebook pages and all our other live streams that the DeaconLive podcast is available on. And I posted something on the Facebook feed, and I got over 75 some odd comments on it. And I just posted like, hey, look, this. Hey, look at this is basically what I said. And we'll dive back into the conversations when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Labor Day weekend, they say, it's the end of the summer. People want to go out on trips. People want to drive around the world. If you want to run around the world, by all means, sign up for the virtual run thing. But you ever been on a plane before, and then you taxi up to you land, you're like, whew, we landed, everything's good. And then you're sitting in the plane, and then you're waiting, let's get up to the let's go, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. And sometimes a lot of people, first of all, a lot of them don't like flying. A lot of people don't like flying. And of course, now you got to wear a mask. Now you got to put something all over your face. And then, people freak out and they get attacks and they're panicking and stuff. Sometimes people take it upon themselves to make themselves, they do weird and wild, crazy things. Now, I've been known to take a minute, if I'm in a store or something, and I'll get a huge panic attack. I'll panic, and my wife's, she's going, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, and I'm watching people in the aisles, and I get a panic attack, and I literally look at my wife, and I give her that look, hold on a minute. I'll walk 2 aisles over. Breathe it all in, take it all out. That's why I do that before every podcast. I get a little anxiety, and if I do that, it helps me relax, and then I can continue on with what I was talking about earlier. Now, this woman right here took it a little bit further. A mother goes for a walk on a Boeing 737 jet's wing to get some quote-unquote air because she was getting too hot while waiting to disembark from her in the Ukraine. A woman climbed out on the wing of a plane that landed in Kiev after arriving back from Turkey. The mother of two says, hold on, am I bleeding again? Yep. It's that dry weather. A mother of two was said to be too hot after landing in Kiev from her flight. She opened up the emergency exit on the Boeing 737 and climbed out onto the wing to get some air, and you can see the video right here. Let's blow this up a little bit. There she is. Hey, get out. Hey, you. So she literally walks out on the plane, opens the emergency door, and then she kind of, like she's walking back into a tent like she had sitting there from Labor Day weekend. You know how you have to step over the little zipper flap on the bottom? They're like, get in the plane, lady. And they're like, okay, I'll get back in. Now, she was traveling with 2 children. And the 2 children literally looked up and goes, that's mom, kind of like, oh my God. So this woman just jumped out on the plane. She opened up the emergency door while they were still sitting there and walked out on the plane. The nerve that she would go out there and do that. The pilot called the ambulance, police department, and border guards, but the woman reportedly was unable to explain to the police about her behavior, saying it was too hot. She might have had a little medical breakdown right there. Now, before you go on and say, well, there was something wrong with her, tests show that she was not drunk nor on drugs. And she looks like a middle-aged woman, 30s and 40s. She's got 2 kids, so she's of that age to have 2 small children. She was traveling with her husband and 2 children. Where's the husband? Babe, get in here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get in the plane. Go.
I just got to get out here to make a little. It's hot in here. I'm going outside.
I don't know why she sounded like that, but, from being overseas. 2 children and the family from the holiday before they started their new term. Let's see what else it says. That's it. So yeah, she decided to go for a little walk out on the plane because she was too hot. Now you panic, because you're always afraid the plane's going to crash. Oh my God, the plane's going to crash. A little bit of turbulence and stuff. You're always like, oh my God. The way they kind of describe the way a plane hits turbulence, I've got a American Airlines pilot that lives next door to me. I'm like going, hey, how much turbulence can a plane actually hold or maintain? He's like, Deacon, you'd be surprised how much these things, he's like, I've dropped 5,000 feet within seconds, and everyone in the plane had no idea. They might have got a little bump up or bump down. He's like, but these planes, they are designed to do what they do. They are the safest form of travel. And I said, oh, really? He's like, yeah. Think of like a train, right? A big old long train. And someone puts a couple pennies on the track. Now, it's a little far stretch, but for the most part, that's what that's what an airplane does. It goes right through all these little trouble spots and stuff with no problems. It's designed to do that. Now, one thing that they're trying to design, I don't know why they're doing this, if planes are I hate to say, we haven't had a good plane crash in a while now, have we? No, we haven't. Like on the runway, flipping over, cameras catching it, ball of flame type. And oh my God, you know what I just thought of? I know this is September 11th, a couple days from now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm doing a show. Things just come out of my mouth. You can tell it's not scripted. I apologize. But with the show, the Ukraine engineer, if you're watching this on the live stream here, the Ukrainian engineer has designed an airplane with a detachable cabin. In the event of emergency, the plane cabin breaks off, deploys parachutes, and floats passengers safely to the ground or to the sea. So if you're watching this right here, look at this. Here's a plane. Oh my God, the engine's going bad and stuff. And the whole back end, the whole fuselage kind of separates, and then boom, parachutes pop out. And maybe, I don't know. And then the rest of it, the plane's gotten lighter now. And the engines have gotten, it's spin off like if you ever broken a, you know what bottle rocket is, right? With the stick and the little thing on the top. If you ever broken a bottle rocket off and lit it and it goes, it kind of spins off. I think that's what happens but it's in design, so it's coming soon. Hopefully they can figure that out. They did it with the space shuttle after the Columbia or the Challenger accident. They figured out a way to get everyone out of that. With it kind of shoots them out to the side, a little pod or whatever. It gets everyone out of there. All right. Have you had enough plane crashes and death and destruction yet? Well, good, because we're going to get into some other crazy stuff here on the show. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Jesus. Welcome back to Deacon Live. This portion is brought to you by Peculiar Artifacts for the Eccentric Soul. Show your political statement with these unique designs. Warning, they are not for the faint of heart. Go to the website peculiarartifacts.com. And you can also follow them on Instagram as well. And make sure you go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. You can click on the link there. They got some crazy cool shirts for the political parties out there. Not for little kids, by the way. So make sure you check them out as well. Now, so I posted something on my Facebook feed. And you can see the Facebook post. Well, let's do it this way. I don't get real political here on the broadcast, like I said before. In my neighborhood, my neighborhood is very rural, very urban. Sorry, both of those don't make any sense. We're very out here. We're in the country. So what they say to us, you're out in the country, man. Jesus, it took me an hour and a half to get to your house. All right, there, relax. And all through this side of town, this county, this side area is. I don't want to say it's a red state, it's a red county. And so everyone's got, American flags and Trump Pence all over the place, and they've got it all over. I mean, big all over the place. Now, this one place took like 4x4 posts, drove them into the ground, painted them white, got a banner, probably like a banner, one of those vinyl banners with all the eyelets and stuff on it, probably a good 4x8 sheet, if not bigger, says Trump, Pence, no more bullshit. It's got all the, big American flags, and underneath it, and another sign that, we support the Second Amendment. It's got a friggin' AR rifle on the bottom of it, and I just took a picture. All I did was I took a picture, and I'm like, huh, literally, because I was kind of like, holy Jesus, buy some airtime, some on a billboard on the highway. That's how big this thing was. And I took a picture of him, like, hey, this is in my neighborhood. Well, it started something. It started a big feed. It started, a lot of thumbs up, a lot of thumbs down, a lot of angry faces, a lot of crying faces, all the emojis and stuff. So there's one guy. Some of my friends on my Facebook feed are actual, like, literal friends. And then there's friends, like secondary friends. They've heard of the show, which is great. I still love every single one of you guys. And then there's people that just want to hawk their shit on my friggin' Facebook feed. Hey, make sure you like Don Wickham's Don Wickham Realty. Fuck you, Don Wickham. Fuck you and your realty. I'm not buying a house. Get away from me. Oh, but some of your 5,000 friends might. Okay, all right. Get off my ass. Get off my page. So there was a big long feed, and they started, these two guys, good friends. I mean, I love them all. I love every single one of them. They started going back and forth, snowflake this, and, you are liberal China, and this and that. And so it was killing my battery on my phone, because you get all the dings, dings, vibrate, 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 vibrate. This went on for an hour and a half of them bickering and fighting at each other. And then it stopped for a little bit, and then it came back on. So I'll play what actually. So let's start now. This is our new segment called Text to Voice Theater. Now, what you're about to hear, these are actual text messages or posting on the Facebook feed, and I've left everyone's name out so no one gets offended, no one gets anything. But you can listen to how stupid in your mind, when you're typing. There's one thing I interviewed with a company many years ago, and they said, what's one thing that you learned about, blah, blah, blah. I said, when you read an email from someone, read it as if you're talking, not they're talking to you. And what that means is, that says, if you write an email saying, how do I turn off the electricity, or how do I turn off the water? And they write back, well, you turn off the on handle to off until the water stops. That's the way you read it. But if you're mad, well, you turn the water off until the water says stop. It all depends. You can put your whatever voice you want into that email that comes across the counter. So you have to read it for exactly, hey, I asked for this. They're giving me an answer based on, and you can't read because there's no sound. There's punctuation and stuff, but for the most part, there's no sound. So you can't read it as if they're mad at you or they're calling you dumb or you're writing an email to someone and calling them dumb. So this is what I've come up with based on these two knuckleheads. I know, but I'm going to call them knuckleheads because they are. They're bitching and complaining about something. I say something. They just got under each other's craw. Does that make sense? They got each other's craw. So I'm going to play this right now.
Private property. Think
so
twice.
Let me back up just a little bit. What started was this person posted one of those warning, get off my lawn type things, and it's got a gun, and this is what it actually says.
Private property. Think twice. Property owner is too old to fight, too fat to run, and too lazy to argue.
Better hope the guy coming to your place isn't armed. If you're too old to fight, you're probably too old to land a shot. Good luck.
Come break in my house and let's see.
Laughing my fucking ass off. Gotta love the bootlick in that comment.
You don't like it because you're a pussy.
I'm just saying. Your post is basically saying you suck. You are too old. You are too fat. You are too lazy. You are a prime target for anyone who really wanted you be.
Fucking snowflake.
Triggered. Laughing my fucking ass off. This guy. Hilarious bootlicker living in China. Ironic much.
Let's find out who is the badass then.
I don't have to find out. You've proven enough in this comment thread. Thanks for the laugh. This was great.
Deacon, are you going to let this lowlife on your page?
I can be friends with everyone. Even you.
And that's why you're awesome, dude.
I thought better of you, Deacon.
You just can't get enough of the irony here.
I will still knock down your door and smash in your face, snowflake.
LMFAO, says the one threatening violence over social media for being called out on your bullshit. You try to boast with your retarded ass signpost that you thought was the coolest shit in the world. Which the irony here is that sign quite literally labels you a pussy. But you have the audacity to call me a pussy simply for pointing out your massive ego. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Oh yeah. Do you live at Street?
Rolling on the floor laughing. Christ, you're fucking daft. You don't even have the compression to understand when you make a threat.
And your phone number is cry laughing, cry laughing, cry laughing. Nervous?
Is that supposed to scare me cause you're failing on that front, bud? But continue please, I'm curious where this is going. Oh, and please tell me you illegally ran my name through your system. That'll be a good one. Sounds like a quick dishonorable discharge to me. Not at all actually. More gathering information to report you for improper use of government data.
I have a lot of cop friends.
What you don't realize is that I'm actually well versed in law. Been there, done that, and knowing the only way you could have obtained my info was from running it through a government system illegally. You've given me ammo to have you discharged.
What do you know about law? I have been in it for 20 years.
Best believe I will be reporting this conversation. I'm well aware of my Google search results. Also well aware of what I allow to be public. Keep covering your at-home boy. Throwing kisses.
Cry laughing. Cry laughing. Cry laughing.
'Twas fun. Enjoy. Heart.
Gotta go to my cop meeting now. Thanks for the laugh and for your picking duties at work.
No worries, I'll make sure to hold your package if I ever see it come through. Throwing kisses, rolling on the floor, laughing.
So like I said, this went on for about an hour, maybe 2 hours and stuff, and then they finally came to this conclusion.
Look man, posting your personal info was a dick move. Sorry. I am a supporter of the police in Leo and get this shit a lot. I am actually a pretty chill guy. So, sorry I reacted the way I did. I erased your personal info. Peace.
It's always good to make fun of yourself, right?
It got carried away. Sorry man. Heart emoji.
It happens my dude, no hard feelings, heart.
I am better now, had some soup. Sweating laughing. Sweating. Laughing.
They came to terms and they figured out that, they were both being idiots. They were both being dumb. One was calling each other out, and it just didn't make sense. This is what online fighting is, and it's what everyone's doing, and it just makes me just upset. And that's why I said, hey, I can love everyone, even you, and even you. So anyways, I was mostly pissed off. They were wearing my fucking battery down on my phone because I was nowhere near a charger. And my phone, and I want to make sure everyone was being, nice to each other to a certain point, fight your own battles, right? All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the corona thing, and it's getting rid of one big thing that a lot of people across the United States look forward to every year during the holidays. And we'll dive into that here in just 1 sec when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. This segment is brought to you by Born Paranormal. The paranormal field remains a controversial subject, and millions of people across the globe yet believe the existence of the realm. David Kiefer breaks his silence on the paranormal field. A private, confidential investigator, David Kiefer is looking to tell his all-tale book to the world as it regards to the paranormal field in his new book titled Born Paranormal, A Liar's Story, just in time for Halloween. First of his new series. The experienced second generation paranormal investigator talks about his ordeals with paranormal field and how he's able to overcome its unique challenges he faced growing up in the field. You can find David Kiefer's new book, Born Paranormal, A Liar Story, on Amazon.com and also on your Kindle, which is great because, Halloween got canceled. In some areas, Halloween Horror Nights got canceled. Some places are doing the drive up, drive in type thing. And I was wondering how they were going to do that. But I guess, you pull your car up and the scenes happen around your car. It's not like you're driving through because, what's keeping you from hitting the gas and going on? You pull up and you just kind of turn your car off. And then the scene happens around you and it gets all scary. And then the scene dissipates and then you turn your car back on and you go on to the next next scene. Now, trick-or-treating itself is going to, it's going to be different this year. But, nonetheless, we are all striving for what's going to be the new Halloween costume. What's going to be the big Halloween costume that everyone wants to have. Now, right here, Halloween, well, that'd be perfect. Halloween takes a frightening turn with the Karen mask. If you're watching this here on the video feed, there it is, Karen. She's an older lady. I would think the lady would be a little bit younger, but it's an older lady, and it's got that what's that, Kate plus 8 haircut. And it says Halloween is going full Karen this year, but in a good way. The very scary Karen 19 mask is a dramatic and unhinged caricature inspired by real-life events. Several reports say the disguise is trending online, and as of the last year, is a must-have costume. And no, you don't need a mask to speak to a manager to get one of these. I got it. The handmade latex mask is created by Los Angeles special effects artist Jason Adcock. Is available on Etsy for $180, which includes free shipping. Production description of the mask. The mask is the scariest thing you can be this Halloween. So there you go. There's the Karen mask. If you want to be Karen, you can contact, what's his name again? Jason Adcock. Let's see if he gives a website or anything. No, it doesn't. All right, so yeah, you just have to do your due diligence to find that out as well. Now, if Halloween's going away, Thanksgiving, of course, there's not a whole lot of Thanksgiving stuff going on. And they do to a certain point. They have like corn mazes, hide the children in the pumpkin patch. Isn't that a thing in your area? It's not. But Walt Disney World, you heard of those guys? Walt Disney World and Walt Disneyland, on both the coasts of the United States, the very Merry Christmas party from Mickey is being canceled this year. Yep. You saw what was going to happen. They can't figure out a way to do it, which I don't understand why, because they just opened up the parks for Labor Day weekend. Now, granted, Labor Day weekend, they were at 50%. Jesus Christ, there was people on top of people on top of people on top of people. After months of hope and speculation, Walt Disney World Resorts has officially canceled Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party 2020. I don't know why, because they were taking reservations out at Universal and SeaWorld. They were taking reservations to keep the parks, population down. According to Disney World's blog, other holiday experiences that draw a big crowd will be on hiatus as well this year, such as Mickey's Christmas, Candlelight Processional at Epcot, which is the future of the world over there. Disney has also decided not to have the iconic gingerbread displays at its resort hotels this year. I don't know what those are, but if you've been there, tell me about it. Speculation over Disney's extra ticketed after-hours holiday event is ensured that Walt Disney World has made the decision to cancel its Halloween event as well, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But now it's officially confirmed that they too have been canceled due to concerns around the global pandemic. You just have to be, all right, so look, let me explain something to you. So these events happen after hours. When I say after hours, the park opens up at 8. The little kids, Mommy, Dad, let's run to the front gate and go to the front gate and run to the front gate and get into the front gate. And then the park usually closes in Florida because it gets freaking hot. It gets hot. Everyone wants to get there early. And then around 3, 4 o'clock, everyone's done. They're exhausted. I want to go home. I'm out of here. Let's go to Burger King or something, which is fine, And so the park kind of clears out like around 6 o'clock. So what happens at 6 o'clock? They take a moment and they shift everything over to whatever the Christmas, and they have another opening that lasts for like, I think 4 hours, 5 hours maybe. But they have a whole new other group of people that come in, and a smaller quantity. They're not going to be running around with all the kids. They're not going to be running around with as much adult people type stuff. So, for example, family of 4 goes in there Monday morning, 8 o'clock. This is great. And so 100 people with family of 4 go in there 8 o'clock. And let's stay for no, we'll do that tomorrow. So the next night they go, and there's less people at night than there are during the day. I don't know. I hope. I just hope this doesn't really. It's going to affect the way we do things from here on out. I guarantee it's going to affect how we do things from here on out. Now, something that affects us how we do things here on out. You got to take a lot of liberalness with this article here. So, a man refuses to wear a mask while shopping, shows off a quote-unquote religious exemption card. Yes, you heard me right. A man has been caught in a viral video showing off his religious exemption card. The card he claims means he does not have to wear a mask or face covering inside a grocery store. Let's see what this dipshit has to say. All right. And I say dipshit, hold on, sorry. I didn't mean to pass judgment on him. He's probably a smart man. He's probably got a good reason. He's probably got, or the family's got a good reason. I don't know if it's a man or woman. It says man? It says man. I'm not trying to push my values on them. They're not trying to push my values on me. I'm just reading the story. Here we go. So in the clip, the man appears to have taken the mask, been asked by a store employee to wear a mask, and policy implemented in many businesses and mandates by a number of states to limit the spread of coronavirus. The man refuses, telling the employee it's illegal and discriminatory. Dime a dozen, we've heard these articles or seen videos and articles of this. When he noticed that he was being filmed, he turns to the camera and brandishes a card in a lanyard that he's wearing around his neck. I have every right to be here. You can read it. You can read it out loud, he tells the person behind the camera. Don't harass me. You can't harass me, he says by walking away. The card, I'm not going to play the video because if I hit the video, there's going to be 15 different advertisements on. The card is seen in the video to be one of those that you can be purchased online. And it reads, pay attention, the bearer of this card is legally exempt from wearing any face coverings or being subjected to temperature taking or viral testing or vaccination as protection by U.S. federal law, Title II of the Civil Rights Act, U.S. Code 42 SS 2000A. The card states, according to the state and federal, this is what it actually means. Now I'll translate it for you. According to the state and federal civil rights law, this individual has free and equal access to all facilities in your building and establishment, regardless of store policies. So there you go. It's the website. The website's called The Healthy American, which sells the cards for $12. Someone's making a killing on that. Notes that while we pray and hope this card will smooth away all your problems and stuff, unfortunately, we cannot state that it will guarantee your entrance into buildings or establishment. The 1964 Civil Rights Act does not allow religious-based exemptions for mask mandates. All right, so there you go. So while some states allow mask exemption for people in places of worship, non-religious-based exemptions are detailed in the mask mandates for the businesses and other public places. So there you go. The 30-second video went viral. It was posted on Twitter. Of course, it was by 50 Shades of Whey, like protein whey, and almost got 400,000 views. So let's see if I can see it without having to click on. I'm not doing it. I'm not clicking on it. So there you go. So if you want to be, you go to the Healthy American and click on that and see if you can get your card. And tell me if it works. Wear it around your head. Staple it on your freaking forehead for all I care. See if you can get into these buildings and stuff without wearing a mask on. Maybe use that as your mask. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. I'm out of here. All right. When we go back, we got a little bit more of the show left, and then I'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. This segment's brought to you by Piss and Balsamic Vinegar Podcast. Listen to seasoned professional cooks Kellen Green and Kai Nelson as they discuss food trends along with local known foodie Jess Ross. The show dives into famous food myths, favorite recipes, and the unfortunate truth of reality competitions during cooking shows. Join the team as they interview other cooks in their fields about the world professional of cooking, all while having a good time together. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Tunes, and follow them on Facebook. That is Piss and Balsamic Vinegar Podcast. And should be interesting. I was listening to the show. It actually sounds really good. They start talking about, I think, like their first episode they have out, they talk about the way the world's going with the Impossible Burger and Impossible Meats and stuff. So it's really interesting. So check those guys out. Piss and Balsamic Vinegar Podcast. Now, speaking of cooking and Labor Day weekend, we had a, well, hold on. Before I go on to this, have you seen this video yet? Have you seen the video? Hey, come on over here and watch this. There's a video that's going around. I don't know. I don't want to say it makes my stomach turn, but it's just ridiculous. It's kind of like along the long lines of it's all the hold on, let me find the video here. So it's along the lines of, you've got people protesting for your policy and stuff, or demonstrating for your policy and stuff, and you're like going, hey, man, hey, that's not what we're about. Let's not do that. They get a little out of control, and you're like going, oh my God, everyone gets out of control. So this right here, this happened at a local Walmart in the butcher aisle. So if you're watching this on the video here, what you're seeing is these steaks, all these meat products come with roses, tongue in cheek. They are courtesy of, and this is from the website, these fucking stupid vegans that are having a funeral in the butcher's aisle of Walmart. So what they're doing is they're playing the funeral song and they're laying roses on the packs of meat. And like a funeral, like someone's dead, like they're laying it on the cow meat. And there's only like 2 people that are doing it. And they're like 2 people, like, hold on. I thought vegans and stuff were supposed to be like skinny. Like supposed to be like, I'm vegan, I'm this way, and I don't like to have, processed foods or whatever in my body. They're a bunch of big fat fucks. Like sitting at home in your mom's basement playing video games. Oh my God, she's a big gal. She's a big gal. And they're putting roses on it. So there you go. That happened at a local Walmart in the butcher aisle. So if you get a rose on your steak sandwich or on your brisket that you bought, just think those guys were there. Now, when I talk about brisket, here we go. You ready, guys? Meat guys, ready? This is the brisket that I actually physically made during Labor Day weekend. So here you go. I know it's. There's my wife cutting it up.
Look at that smoke ring.
Look at that. So when I do a brisket, it's got to have a good fat cap on top of it. Yeah, the cap could have rendered down a little bit more. No? The outside looks burnt, but it's not. It's the way the fat cap, when the fat cap dissolves and all the tissue breaks down, it kind of melts and drips inside the meat. I know, I'm starving now. I'm starving, Deacon. I'm starving. Oh, well, there you go. All right, when we come back, we'll jump into a couple more things. There's 2 shows that are calling it quits. They said, you know what, we've had enough. We can't do our shows based on this whole Corona thing. And another show's getting a new mayor. Maybe he should talk to someone who owns a roadhouse. We'll dive into that here in just one second. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. So I apologize. I had a nosebleed at the beginning of the show. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I had one. It was the change of weather, it gets to me now and then, especially if we go from like really, really humid to all of a sudden like dry, like instant dry. I get a nosebleed. It is. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I don't mean to. I don't mean to bleed all over everything. Oh God. It's something else we got to worry about. Hold on. Now, I know you guys are a big entertainment people. You like watching the shows out there. You like watching the Netflix, the Hulu, the CBS. We're in the middle of watching Big Brother, and the way they're handling Big Brother, I think it's 22, Double Deuce, Ducks on a Pond. They're when someone gets kicked out, there's no audience or anything. They go out there and talk to Julie Chen Moonves with a mask on. They stay like 20 feet apart from each other. It's weird. It's a weird, crazy world. But, Big Brother right now, my wife loves it. Loves the Big Brother. She doesn't love what's going on in the world. But these shows, live shows, like your reality shows, are having a hard time dealing with the coronavirus and everything being shut down. Now, there are 2 shows right now that are canceling. I say canceling. They're saying they're done. And not because of the coronavirus. They probably saw this coming up and stuff. But they just literally said, this is it. This is our last season. We're going to wrap this up. And one of them is this. I didn't even know it was still out there. I didn't know it was still a thing. I mean, you hear people talk about shows and you're like, oh my God, did you see the latest blah, 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 blah? I haven't heard that in a while. I haven't heard that in a while about this show right here. And this is the trailer for season 18, which will be their last season for the show. This is the end. That's season 18. They're done. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they're done after this season. They you know what? We can't do it anymore. Are we relevant? Are they still relevant as far as what they do and what they are? I don't know. I've never watched a single episode. The only time I've ever seen the Kardashians is there was a teen movie or something where Kim was a cheerleader. And I was watching the thing, and she was flipping around and doing all that stuff. I forget what movie it was. And I'm like, God, that she's got something. There's something that sticks out about her. And then someone said, oh, that's Kim Kardashian. I'm like, oh, that's her? Oh, the one with Ray J? Ooh, down the tube after that one. Another show that's calling it quits. And a lot of people are going to be, they're going to be dead. They're going to be horrible. They're going to be lost. They're going to be wandering around the world with no intention whatsoever. And that's The Walking Dead is officially ending with season 11. The Walking Dead is officially ending after season 11. Season 11 will be supersized season offering 24 episodes as a farewell tour. Its airing will begin fall of 2021, if we can get there. 24 episodes will run a span of fall from 2021 to beginning of 2022. It's unclear whether they are broken into 3 8-part segments, 2 12-part halves, or whatever they say. The AMC zombie show began in 2010 with its premiere episode, Days Gone By, like way by, airing on Halloween. In years to follow, The Walking Dead has become a global hit, claiming the #1 spot on cable, spawning several spin-off shows, including 2 more new series, which will follow its conclusion as well. Now, here's the thing. I watched Walking Dead. I can't watch people doing the Michael Jackson zombie walk. I can't. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and it was just, I couldn't get into it. I'm sure the story was great. I'm sure everything was good. But I never watched other than the first episode, and the guy had to shoot his own wife or something like that. I couldn't watch it. I was like that. But they're dead. They're dead. The Walking Dead is officially dead. They're going by the wayside. No more Walking Dead. Yeah, we got time for one more. So there's a show out there that's on Fox. It's a animation domination show that lost its mayor. And if you don't know what that show is, it's Family Guy. Family Guy lost Adam West. He passed away in 2017. And if you're a big fan of Family Guy, you know that Adam West was kind of like this, I don't want to say dumb, but he was smart dumb. He was funny. He added a lot to the show. Unfortunately, he passed away. They renamed the high school in Family Guy from the James Wood High School to the Adam West High School. That's why you see the name change there. Now, this guy right here is going to be taking over for mayor of Quahog.
You got a skinny little runt named Dalton working here.
He's out the back.
I know you. Put me beer, will you? I'll be back.
How you like that, coach?
How's it going, mijo?
Mind your own business, Dad.
You want to fight, dickless?
I sure ain't gonna show you my dick. Damn, that hurts, doesn't it?
Way out back!
Hey, I had it under control. Yeah, I knew that. Had to see you. Good to see you.
Who is that guy?
Gentlemen? Wade Garrett.
Holy shit.
Exactly right.
That's right, Wade Garrett. Sam Elliott is going to be taking over the mayor of Family Guy, and I'm interested in how they're going to do that, because that should be interesting, right? Get some Law and Order down there in Quahog. Where's Peter and Joe Swanson? Oh, I messed up that voice. So there you go, Joe Swanson. All right, we'll come back. I'm going to dive into something really, really quick. Where you guys can have some fun. You guys like driving go-karts? Sure. You like driving them in a circle? You like driving them inside? It's okay. How would you like to drive over miles and miles and miles on a go-kart? It always seems so fast when you go on the short tracks. Well, there's a big track opening up, and I'll get into that here in just one sec. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. This segment's brought to you by O'Brien Garage Doors. Having garage door issues, even if you aren't, they are a family-owned and operated garage door company that provides residential garage door services, including repairs, sales, installation, and services, and much, much more. Visit O'Brien Garage Doors on their Facebook page or o'briendoor.com. That's OBRIEN door. Now, when you open up the garage door, there's a lot of garage door people out there, or garage mechanics out there, that like to spruce up their lawnmowers. They make little go-karts and stuff. I wish I never had a go-kart growing up. I wish I did. Kids in my neighborhood, guy down the road made a wooden one with a lawnmower engine on the back of it. And man, that thing would haul ass. So it's every kid's dream to be a certain age and have their own little go-kart. Now, you can be any age right here. A racetrack go-kart goes through 18 landscape acres at Anderson Race Park in Florida. Get ready, the high-speed adventure if you like you'll never expect, like you've never expected before. At Anderson's Race Park in Florida, guests are able to rent super speedy go-karts and race around 18 acres of twisting, turning landscape track. Even if you're a beginner with minimum karting experience, or you'll be able to learn from the professionals before you go flying around the track in a rental cart. So let's see. There you go. Man, look at that. They've got the low to the ground one. What is primarily known as a go-karting track has also offered up a ton of other activities if anyone has the fascination with racing cars and driving on high speeds in a small area. When you visit Anderson Race Park, you'll learn from instructors to advance your driving skills no matter what your experience level. Now, I remember going to, I forget where it was, a family trip, probably in Houston, and I was like 16, and we were on a wet track, and I was so scared. I've never been on a wet track, but I want to go on that. And I'm like, sure enough, I spun sideways, and I shut the whole place down after like 3 laps. The park offers visitors open lap sessions in the Birel, B-I-R-E-L, N35 carts. Driving experts will prepare you to how to drive a go-kart, braking, and optimal driving and beyond. Adults will be able to participate in various events and sessions to learn how karts and driving clinics. They have a whole bunch of it's a whole big thing. It's 16, 18 acres out there for open lap sessions at Race Park. Guests will pay $22.50 for every 10 minutes. Woo! Can you get around there can you get around the track every 10 minutes? What if it takes you an hour? Oh my God, that's 22 times 5. That's $100 and something an hour. That's a lot. That's a lot. But anyways, I don't know if you can bring your own ride. That'd be cool. Bring your own ride and stuff. But yeah, that's a go-kart track, 18 acres of well-manicured. It looks like the Daytona 500. I say the Daytona 500. It's the open wheel track looking thing. Very well manicured. It looks very professional. And that's out there in Anderson Race Park in Palmetto, Florida. So that's just a hop, skip, and a jump from downtown Orlando. And speaking of hop, skip, and a jump, we're going to get out of here, let you guys get back to what you got to do. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for downloading us, listening to us. Make sure you share us, follow us, comment on us, do all the stuff that makes us part of you and you part of us. And go to profitradio.com and click on all those social contacts as well. On behalf of you guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. My name is the Deacon saying goodnight and good night.
Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.